Department of Mechanical Engineering and its. So I'd like to introduce myself before bringing into the topic of design thinking and product innovation. This is just basics on design thinking and product innovation. So this is, I am addressing basically for the engineering students who are going through the second year and third year to bring a new thought process, how they can bring out innovative ideas in their life while learning the engineering subjects. So the AICT brought this one, a resolution for all engineering colleges, Institution Innovation Council, Ministry of HR, MHRD, has given this initiative to conduct this design thinking process. Every student should have, apart from his regular technical subject, he should have an innovative brain. So that's what I am going to teach you in this session. So this is from my Institute of Technology, my Department of Mechanical Engineering in association with ANITS IAS. I am teaching this subject. So the contents which I am going to cover in this session, this is an overview of design thinking and product innovation. So design overview, design, double diamond, discovery, define, develop, deliver. So these are actually double diamond is the deep topic which is addressed by all the who are the students taking place in the computer software engineering. So this is one of the subjects they teach, double diamond technique. Next, inspiration behind design thinking. Why this has been started, design thinking? The inspiration started where, or why you have to cultivate this inspiration. Then the basic first fundamental word which you want to learn from design thinking, empathy. The one lesson, if you have to learn from this empathy, just learn this one word, empathy, the key for design thinking. And then empathy examples, I am going to tell you some of the examples, why empathy is required, user empathization and customer need analysis. This one I just give a brief talk before going to any project which you are taking when you join in a software company. So these are the project, before starting a project, you should have customer-centric method. So this empathy, it means customer. Who is the end user? Who is the beneficiary of your work? That's what is addresses the empathy. So how this course will help you, your career, what you will learn. So how to apply design thinking to your problems in order to generate innovative and user-centric solutions. Just now I spoken. So the user-centric solutions you will learn from design thinking process. So you have to think your user before you start your problem. So how to make use of practical design thinking methods in every stage of your problem with the help of method templates. So there are some templates also there to work out how to initiate a new working culture based on user-centric approach, empathy, ideation, prototyping, and playful testing. So how to employ ethnographic and analysis methods such as interviews, focus groups, and surveys, how to prototype early and fast as well as test your prototypes so as to reduce risk and accelerate organization learning. So important point I am going to hear. Some of the world's leading brands such as Apple, Google, Samsung and General Electric GE so have rapidly adopted the design thinking approach. For what purpose they have adopted this technique? Design thinking is being taught at leading universities around the world, Stanford, D-School, Harvard and MIT, what is the design thinking and why it is so popular and effective. So now it is in Indian culture also it is started. AICT made it compulsory for all IITs, NITs and all universities and engineering colleges. And now it is going to be in the schools also, this design thinking coming. So where it is started, the origin of design thinking. So it is started from IDEO. The Tim Brown, CEO of IDEO company has started this. So he has faced some problems in his own company. So I am not going to read the slides, I am just giving the overview. So focus on the topic. So I am just going to the subject. So first topic is empathy. The word empathy, what is the meaning and what the definition of I am going to teach you. So empathy is the first step in design thinking because it is a skill that allows us to understand and share the same feelings that others feel. So you have to be in the stand-up shoe of other person. That means you have to feel how the end user feeling and what is required. So you have to bring into your own consciousness before putting into the education. That is called empathy. So feel others' feelings. So through empathy, we are able to put ourselves in the other people's shoes and connect with how they are they might be feeling about their problem, circumstances, and situation. So you should be able to feel their problem and their circumstances where they are, and also what is the situation they are facing. So that is the way empathy will work. So understand deeper. Same thing, if you go for a deeper understanding, empathy is stronger than sympathy. Sympathy is just a verbal expression. Empathy is going to the heart of the person and you are able to understand the situation. So it goes beyond feeling compassion for their loss. It is the ability to put yourself into the place of another and understand someone else's feelings by identifying with them. So with empathy, you put yourself in others' shoes. So I already told. Empathy can be realistically pursue how others' feelings. And also someone lacking empathy may not be able to understand why another person is upset over a situation. They will not imagine themselves as a person's place. That's why it is not a sympathy, it is a practical feeling of other persons. Experiencing your own hurt, others' pain. You can have empathy now for someone, you can have empathize verb. So empathy is a noun and empathize is the verb. So now key for design thinking started from Stanford. So design thinking for educators. So Tom Kelly is the person who has taken initiative to bring out into the world innovation. So Japan's creative leadership, Stanford social innovation, a review for inspiring the leaders of the social change. So you can see the example of Tom Kelly, the best-selling author of the Creative Confidence, the Art of Innovation, and 10 Phases of Innovation. So applying the teaching in design thinking. So applying and teaching design thinking. So the 5 phases of design thinking according to the D-School are as follows. So first of all, you have to understand what are the 5 stages before going into the implementation of design thinking. So design thinking is basically, there may be 7 also there, but ideally based on the Stanford University, we are going for 5 stages. Empathize. So with your users, define your users' needs, their problem, and your insights. And then ideate by challenging assumptions and creating ideas for innovative solutions. So this is second stage is define, and third stage ideate. Ideate means you have to bring into the application the innovative ideas, and brainstorming sessions all comes into the creative ideas for innovative solutions. Once you have find out the solution, that should be tested first. Before testing, you have to go for prototype to start creating solution. So prototype is the easy way to identify how it is working. So then it is implementation stage comes under solution. Testing stage is called solution. So this is a symbolic representation of design thinking. So now there are 4 steps are there in empathy. So how you see the world, see, and then how you appreciate as a human being, and then also communicate yourself and understand their feelings. So how you see and how you observe, then how you communicate with each other, and then how you are understanding their feelings. It is the 4 stages inside the empathy. So now what they said and what they did and what they felt and what they thought. So this is given by International Design Foundation, interactiondesign.org. So empathy definition into the following are the favorite empathizing methods. Some of the methods which you can, I can say it is as tools which you can use to understand empathy. So empathizing methods. So the following are the 4 favorite empathizing methods. Assume beginner's mindset, or ask what, how, why, or ask 5 whys, conduct interviews with empathy, build empathy with analysis, use photo and video user-based studies, use personal photo and video journals, engage with the extreme users, story share and capture, body storm, and creative journey maps. These are the tools which you can use to identify the empathy. So, if you see, empathy is the intersection of the designer and the user. So, it is between the designer and the user. So, if you see the second step, analysis and synthesis. So, you have to analyze in deeply with microscopic vision, and then synthesize and sync into the user's requirement. So it is a very ill can solve ill-treated problems also. So empathize is a small here 2% symbolic expression is given. You can remember the names easily. So this is empathy. Then define means you have to focus on the problem. Then ideate means it is blowing the bulb. So you have to bring out your brain into blowing the idea, which is the best idea you have to put into the practice. Then coming to the prototype, which can be implemented based on the best idea, and then it can be tested into the what is the solution, best solution you can give to your customer, the end user. So empathy, define, ideate, prototype, test. So this is the iterative process. It's not the serial order 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be reuse it, and it can come back to the first stage, and then you have to come to the second stage, and then here you can see here empathy to define to you can go to the prototype to ideate, and again go to the test stage to again redefine your problem, and again go for ideas. So it is a state can be iterative process. So if you implement practical implementation, how there are different tools can be implemented. What is this? What if? What how? And what works? So you can use the sticky notes. So some of the examples are given here for journey mapping and also brainstorming, testing. So all the ideas which you are bringing into your mind, put in a practice, put in a note, make things better. So this is also some more additional points which can see into the business model. So they already you are seeing the understanding, observing the point of view and ideate, then prototype, test, then storytelling. After this, what happened? You have to be able to speak the story behind it. Then you come to the pilot and then business model. That is the end model. So you can see here this comes under inspiration part, then ideation part, and then implementation part. These are the stages. All the students has to go through it. Every student has to bring it to the imagination, to the ideation, then go to the implementation. So these are some of the links which I have given from website. So thinking, feeling, and willing. So this is called consciousness, which you are bringing into the picture. The key word, we say empathy is the key to successful communication. Sympathy is the key to successful authentication of how bad loser you are. You are just authenticating your user, but it's not sufficient. It has to go to the empathy means you have to key to success is. So here you can see symbolic expression. You are just consoling the person here. But empathizing means you are feeling it in your own heart and able to understand the customer. So here an example of empathy. In the different situations, how a friend sitting together and able to patiently sit with him and able to speak about him is an example. So this is another challenge which you can see important, but recognizing in real life can be a challenge. So the genuine example of showing empathy will help you identify situations where you can show empathy in professional and personal settings. So the real challenge is you have to bring into the practice of in your own professional areas. In the beginning I have told you also about if you are joining a software job, doing a project. So your customer or your end user is the person you have to empathize, and what is his requirements, you should be able to feel empathy. Then bring into the professional and also personal settings. So that is the real challenge. The strengths where you are, whether you are a student talking to a teacher, the teacher talking to a student, or a student talking to a fellow students, showing empathy improves your relationships. So this is also one of the personalism which you are able to implement through empathy. So when you are talking to the teacher or a teacher is talking to the student, you should be able to connect yourself. That's called building the relationship. So perspective. So you should be able to see the perspective of other person. So start by thinking about other person's perspective and what the person must feel. Then try one of these empathy statements. So these are some examples of the statements I am not going to repeat. You can see through the slide. It must be frustrating when the students turn things late. I am sorry. That is the teacher's statements. So one more I read. I know you feel like giving up right now, and I am glad you are not. So it is the inspirational words which a teacher expresses in empathy. It has to be difficult to deal with this. So empathy is the key to understanding your audience. If you see, generally we are going to the mathematical way of expressions and trying to bring into the picture. So that's why for engineering students, we have to show through mathematics and also through the graphs. So it is existing idea and the new idea, existing user and new user. Then incremental stage, evolutionary stage and revolutionary stage. So this is the stage of inspiration, then ideation, then coming to the final stage. So like this, incremental, evolutionary and revolutionary. So empathy, user empathization and customer needs analysis. So there should be analysis before going into practice. Service needs, empathy, fairness, transparency, control, options, information, accessibility. So empathization and customer need analysis. So how it will going to be? Body storming is the act of physically experiencing a situation in order to immerse oneself fully the user's environment. So this is an example. If you are going for a village, say if you do a project, want to do a project for the service to the community, if you go for a village, then there you have to identify the problem of the customers. You have to stay with them and live with them, and you can spend 1 or 2 days and immerse until you have to involve with them, immerse oneself fully the user's environment. That is called the part of analysis. The first step in empathizing with your users is to spend your own view of the worlds around you in order to truly see through your user's eyes. When it comes to design thinking and human-centered design, it's time to stop guessing and start gathering real insights about the user. Not guessing, we are going to see real insights. So user empathization. So empathy is about trying to see user's perspective on the product that you are working on. It's about being able to identify with them and represent them when making decisions that might benefit or hurt them. So it may be both. You have to think about how it is beneficial, how it is hurting them. So this is a pictorial representation, user empathy and awareness at scale. So you are seeing from larger scale to smaller scale. In customer need analysis, so you can see here, there are 4 main customer needs that entrepreneur or a small business must consider. These are price, quality, choice and convenience. So first of all, any customer, any product he is making, that means his focus is price. Then the quality, how much quality. Say example, nowadays you can see from 2001 to 23, so much lot of changes and innovations came in the mobile phones. The switch phones to touch phone, now it is smartphone. So the price also important, the quality also important, the choice of preferences, taste and preferences, and then last one is convenience, how much they are able to utilize the product. So values, benefits, features and attributes. So you have to show the both positives and negatives, that is the features and attributes. So this one example of the companies, those who have implemented design thinking a scale of 2013 from January to June 2003 to December 2010. 10 years scale is a small example. We have taken a company implemented design thinking, company which is not implemented design thinking, how much they have raised their product. So design index, you can see here, plus 228% of their productivity grown just by implementing design thinking process. This is 10 years back history. Now you can see the Toyota example, Apple example. So you can see these live examples are there. So now thank you, and a small introduction. This is my thank to my HOD and the coordinator, Professor B. Nagaraja Garu, Department of Mechanical Engineering and Indian Institute of Technology and Sciences. Thank you very much. I will continue this session in the next episode. Thank you very much.